Now available in paperback and coming to Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, Dark Succubus. The man who rules the world is tempted by a sultry succubus in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Dark Succubus in paperback or pre-order on Kindle Unlimited today. Last night, I got a chance to take a look at Netflix's When They See Us Now, an interview with the Central Park Five, hosted by Oprah Winfrey. Now, this interview was supposed to be done in the aftermath of Netflix's critically acclaimed and incredibly popular miniseries When They See Us, which detailed the story of the Central Park Five in an adaptation written and directed by director Ava DuVernay. And with this When They See Us Now, we were supposed to get an opportunity to hear the stories of the Central Park Five in their own words. However, I see the disingenuousness of your Oprah Winfrey in trying to exploit this situation and trying to manipulate the black masses into getting back in their good graces. Now, the reason why I believe your Oprah Winfrey wanted to host this interview with the Central Park Five was to try to redeem herself for what she did to the late Michael Jackson. And that's why I say your Oprah Winfrey is extremely disingenuous, because after what she did to the late Michael Jackson's legacy, I cannot see anything that this woman does as something that you could say was genuine or honest. So when I look at your Oprah Winfrey after what she did to the late Michael Jackson's legacy by going on that boat with her so-called best friend Gayle King to celebrate with many of Michael Jackson's enemies on, I believe, David Geffen's yacht to celebrate leaving Neverland, a propaganda hit piece designed to malign the reputation and image of Michael Jackson with these false claims that Michael Jackson molested these two young boys, claims that have already been proven to be unsubstantiated by an investigation by the FBI and possibly another allegation that was already dealt with in Los Angeles criminal court. So when it comes down to the reputation of Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey willingly and intentionally went out of her way to malign the reputation of Michael Jackson. And once she maligned the reputation of the late Michael Jackson, what happened was everybody saw the true character of your Oprah Winfrey. They saw her as the mammy she actually was and the advocate for white supremacy that she actually was. Because when she got on that boat with Michael Jackson's enemies and went out of her way to celebrate with Michael Jackson's enemies, she showed the entire black community that she was nothing more than a traitor to all black people. So after seeing what people now knowing the truth about her, what your Oprah Winfrey wants to do is try to find a way to get her face back and try to restore her reputation. Unfortunately, I don't believe it's going to work, because now that black people know the truth about your Oprah Winfrey and what a mammy she is, they know that they can't trust anything she says, or even more so, anything that she does. Because to go and celebrate with Michael Jackson's enemies on that yacht and then go on to say that Michael Jackson committed these sex crimes, even though the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the highest criminal institution in the United States, has already cleared Michael Jackson, shows how much of a traitor to the black race your Oprah Winfrey truly is. So when I saw her sitting on the stage with the Central Park Five, I did not see an objective journalist out to get a clear story of the Central Park Five out here. No, I saw an opportunist looking for another way to worm her way back into the black community and try to win the favor and approval of naive black people who didn't know the truth about this Mammy, and how this Mammy is trying to work as a buffer by using the stories of the Central Park Five as a way to try to work her way back into the good graces and be the good buffer Negro. Because what this buffer Negress wants to do is say that she's so loving and caring and so concerned about the issues of the Central Park Five, when in actuality, all she wants to do is try to find a way to get that honorary position back in the black community so that she can go back and be a spy for white supremacy. Because now that everybody in the black community knows that Oprah Winfrey is a traitor, they know that they can't trust her. But with this whole When They See Us documentary and miniseries, what she wants to do is try to make it look like she cares so much about the black community by talking about what the struggles that these black boys went through and trying to use their stories as a way to get people sympathetic to her. Well, I see through the smokescreen of your Oprah Winfrey, and I see what she's trying to do to black people. As I see it, she doesn't really care about the Central Park Five, and from that interview, she really didn't really care about presenting any sort of objective journalism on the situation, and she didn't care about trying to present a more balanced story of things. All she wanted to do was create an hour-long thing where she put the actors up first and then had them talk about their experiences, then brought the Central Park Five in for the last 25-30 minutes, and then had them tell us what we wanted to hear and didn't tell us anything constructive at all. Because when I listened to that interview, I saw her leading questions, and what I saw her do with Corey Wise was truly shameful, because with your Corey Wise, she was trying to manipulate him, and with that whole sequence, gave a complete pass to many of those individuals who were running New York City at the time, because to just put it on Linda Fairstein isn't fair at all. If you were a fair and balanced, objective individual, you would know that who lived in 1989 like I did, you would know that that whole case wasn't just Linda Fairstein, who is getting what is coming to her. It was also her co-prosecutor, Elizabeth Lederer, and numerous NYPD detectives who beat and coerced those boys into forced confessions. And it was also the Koch administration at the time that went along with this, and the Dinkins administration, and your Governor Mario Cuomo, all Democrats at the time. And what I found to be interesting also was the gynocentric narrative, again, looking to try to say that people were just doing their job. No, they weren't just doing their job as I saw it. This was a complete and unethical railroading of these young black boys. And that was the most egregious thing that I saw in that interview. The Central Park Five really didn't see, they really were trying to be doing an interview, but they didn't understand how Oprah Winfrey was manipulating them and leading them to do these questions. And they were saying things like, oh, they were just doing their job. Again, giving a pass to these females who willfully and intentionally misled everyone. And that was another egregious thing, because I believe, again, with the questioning, there was intent to mislead and give the NYPD and the prosecutor's office somewhat of a pass instead of trying to hold them accountable. And that's what Oprah Winfrey was actually there for, in addition to trying to get redemption for the black community, trying to be a buffer to try to soften the hard impact that the overall miniseries was meant to have, because the miniseries had such a hard impact that people were literally going after your Linda Fairstein, your Elizabeth Lederer, and they were going out here and insisting that Cy Vance open up all the cases of your Linda Fairstein to see if there was prosecutorial misconduct. And that's when we saw white supremacy try to come in to try to change the narrative. First with the Central Park jogger saying she was going along with the police, and then with your Cy Vance coming in. And again, you could see the gynocentrism coming in when there was efforts to make Linda Fairstein accountable, with the Central Park jogger coming in and saying we need to trust the police. And then you had your prosecutor, Cy Vance, going in and saying that he's not going to look into any more cases for corruption. And now they trot out Mammy Oprah Winfrey to go out here and then make this special in order to, again, soften the blow and minimize the trauma that these young men went through and minimize the suffering they went through as boys being prosecuted through the criminal justice system. Now, the most interesting thing I saw in When They See Us Now was any omission of any sort of allegation of against your President Donald Trump. And I found that to be interesting because it showed that I believe your Oprah Winfrey and Ava DuVernay were listening to many of the YouTubers out here on social media who saw the disingenuousness of your agent DuVernay, as many people call them, when she went on CNN and told that lie, because it was a lie, that your Donald Trump was responsible for the 1994 crime bill. So with this special, I see an omission of that, and it probably was edited out probably, where they were trying to keep Donald Trump's name out of it because people already saw through the disingenuous intentions of this miniseries, which was originally, as I see it now, designed to take a shot at your Donald Trump. However, because the whole miniseries has backfired on those who produced it to take that shot at President Donald Trump, what has happened now is they're trying to do damage control with this special and trying to find a way to redeem your Oprah Winfrey and trying to find a way again to soften the impact that has happened to many of these white women who have now, like your Linda Fairstein and Elizabeth Lederer, who are now finally reaping what they sowed 30 years later. So when I take a critical look at this whole situation with When They See Us Now, I see a group of extremely disingenuous black people like your Oprah Winfrey and your Ava DuVernay, all trying to find a way to be a buffer class of Negroes and trying to manipulate the black masses into going along with them by using the Central Park Five's story and trying to use the Central Park Five story to try to win over a black community that now isn't trusting mainstream media anymore, nor is it trusting anything that comes out of law enforcement, and they want to try to get that opportunity to get back in black communities' good graces. Unfortunately, it's not working because we now see the truth about your agent DuVernay and her covert story with the When They See Us miniseries, and we see the race traitor that Oprah Winfrey truly is. And when it comes down to traitors, when it comes down to new black media, we call out the traitors, we hold the traitors accountable, and we let people know that the traitors' behavior will not be tolerated, the traitors' behavior will be dealt with, and the traitors will not be allowed to come back in the black community to exploit it or to try to use it to get favor from their white masters. So your Oprah Winfrey is out when it comes down to the black community. And when it comes down to Oprah Winfrey, most black people are telling her to go back to her white slave masters, the same white slave masters she was celebrating on that boat with when it came down to dishonoring the memory and legacy of Michael Jackson. She can go get her support from them because she's not going to try to trick us by using the story of the Central Park Five to try to get back in the black community's good graces. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App. And if you want to read some of my SJS Direct publications, You may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com to pick up in paperback and ebook. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Esteemed Goddess of. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a demonic dominatrix in this action-packed all-new Esteemed series adventure. Get Esteemed Goddess of in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.